Don't forget to show your work." In the bustling city of New York, there was a large publishing company. It had hundreds of employees, and the office environment was incredibly competitive. Everyone wanted to be #1 in their department and get that promotion. There was this one employee who worked really hard, but he was starting to get fed up with it all. His name was John, and he felt like he was just another cog in the machine. Every day he did his work, met his deadlines, and went home. But lately, he'd been feeling more and more like he wasn't being appreciated. He was tired of working tirelessly without recognition or reward. Then one day, John was given a task that was particularly challenging. He was given a book proposal for what would be a very long book, and they wanted him to edit it within 2 weeks. Now, normally, this type of project would have taken at least a month to complete, but John accepted the challenge. Although he knew it wouldn't be easy, he was determined to do his best work on this project. However, after a week, John realized that this pace wasn't sustainable. He was making very little progress, and he could already feel himself burning out again. He considered asking for an extension, but then he thought about how he'd asked for time off to attend his father's birthday party, and he didn't want to jeopardize that, so he decided to push through. He worked late into the night, barely slept, and sacrificed any kind of social life he had. And finally, just before the deadline, he finished the project and submitted it to his boss. To his surprise, his boss, who was usually very critical, was actually impressed. "This is excellent work, John," she said. "You've done a fantastic job." She then sent the project to the CEO, which made John think that maybe, just maybe, he might get some recognition for his hard work. However, as the days passed, he heard nothing back, and he went back to his mundane routine. He started feeling the same way again. He felt like a small fish in a big pond, just another face in the crowd. But one day, something happened that changed everything. John was walking down the hall when he saw the CEO. She was standing in front of the whole staff, and she was holding a copy of the book that he had edited. "I want to take a moment to acknowledge the outstanding work on this project," she began. "It was a Herculean effort from everyone involved, but special praise goes to John for his exceptional editing. The work he did on this book was nothing short of brilliant." As she said these words, she looked directly at John, and he felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. All those sleepless nights, the countless hours spent hunched over his desk, the sacrifices he'd made, it was all worth it. In that moment, he realized that his hard work had paid off. But it wasn't just the praise that meant so much to him. It was the recognition that his work had made a difference. He had helped to create something truly special, and he knew that this experience would stay with him forever. From that day forward, things were different for John. He was no longer just another employee. He was John, the guy who had edited the CEO's book. People started to notice him more. They respected him and valued his opinion. His career began to take off, and he never forgot the feeling of pride that he had when the CEO praised him in front of the entire staff. One day, John was talking to his boss about his future at the company. He wanted to know if there were any opportunities for advancement and what he needed to do to qualify. His boss was happy to talk to him because he had become one of her top performers. After reviewing John's work history and discussing his goals, she shared some insights with him. "John," she began, "you have a bright future ahead of you here. Your work has been exemplary, and I know you have the potential to go far." Then she told him about a new project that the company was undertaking. A project that would give him the opportunity to showcase his skills on a larger scale. She explained that this project would be a great chance for him to demonstrate his abilities and make a significant contribution to the company. "I think you have what it takes to make this project a success," she said. "It's a lot of work, but the rewards are great." At first, John was hesitant. He wasn't sure if he was ready for such a big challenge, but after some time to think it over, he decided to go for it. He accepted the project and began working diligently. He put everything into it, his heart, his soul, his passion. He worked closely with his team, collaborating and sharing ideas. They faced challenges, of course, but John was prepared. He tackled each obstacle head-on, finding solutions and keeping the project moving forward. As the project progressed, John began to feel a sense of excitement. He could see the end goal, and it was worth all the hard work. He knew that if he could pull this off, it would be his biggest achievement yet. But as the deadline approached, the pressure mounted. John found himself working around the clock. He sacrificed his sleep, his hobbies, his social life. He was determined to finish the project on time and to do it to the best of his ability. And then finally, the day came when he completed the project and presented it to his colleagues. They were impressed. They praised him and congratulated him on a job well done. But John knew that the real test would be when they presented it to the CEO. Would she be pleased with his work, or would she find flaws? The presentation to the CEO was nerve-wracking, but John held his ground. He spoke confidently about the project, explaining the challenges they faced and how he and his team overcame them. He showed her the final product, and she was impressed. "This is outstanding work, John," she said. "You've done an excellent job." Then she turned to the rest of the staff. "This is the caliber of work I expect from all of you," she said. "John has set the bar high, and I expect each and every one of you to strive for excellence." John's heart swelled with pride. His hard work had paid off. Not only had he completed the project successfully, but he had also impressed the CEO. He had proven to her and to himself that he was capable of great things. From that day forward, John continued to excel in his career. He became known as the go-to guy, the one who could take on any project and make it a success. He never forgot the lessons he learned while completing the first project. He knew that hard work and dedication could help him achieve anything he set his mind to. So what can we learn from John's story? The first lesson is that even when you're burnt out, don't give up. Yes, it's hard to keep going when you're exhausted, but giving up isn't the answer. Just think about where you'd be if you had given up on that project. You wouldn't have had the opportunity to show your work to the CEO and change your career trajectory. The second lesson is that it's important to take risks. Yes, it's scary to put yourself out there, but sometimes you have to take a risk in order to succeed. John took the risk of speaking up and volunteering to edit the CEO's book, and it paid off big time. The third lesson is that hard work pays off. John didn't just get lucky. He worked hard and he deserved his success. He put in the extra effort and it made all the difference. Don't be afraid to put in the extra effort. It might just pay off in a big way. Finally, the fourth lesson is that it's important to be patient. Success doesn't happen overnight. John had to wait months for his hard work to pay off. But in the end, it was all worth it. Be patient and trust in the process. Your hard work will eventually pay off. So if you're feeling burnt out and demotivated, remember John's story. Don't give up. Take risks, work hard and be patient. You never know when your hard work will pay off. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.